Hello, YouTube fans. This is TheSkullKlown. I'm here to talk about, WWE. I haven't talked about WWE in a while. I know a lot of people are going crazy with the whole Saudi stuff and everything. At least the Saudi people got mania. Um, it's funny too because I shared a post on my YouTube post. Yeah, I shared a post on my YouTube post. I shared a video on there, and it was basically wrestling soup talking about. I remember this. There was some certain wrestling podcasters that were talking about this also. That that what is it? That TKO is gonna fuck up the business so bad that they will sell it, then Saudi Arabia will buy it, and then it's that's it. You know, people were discussing that when WWE was selling. Either to Disney or Warner Brothers or anyone else. Like again, the Saudis could have bought it. At that time. Um, but even if they didn't bought it, we knew deep down that if TKO put this company through the ground, which most likely that's the thing. Business people like TKO, like Disney and all that stuff, they will grab something and burn it to the ground and then sell it, and then there's nothing left. And then they'd be like, oh, well, I told you it wasn't good to begin with. Guarantee you that's what Disney would do with Star Wars. Most people like, you think Disney would sell Star Wars? Probably not. Disney would be stupid to sell Star Wars, but I'll say this right now: if they fucked it up that bad and they just gave it to somebody else, will anyone give a shit about Star Wars anymore? What if what if Disney sells it to a low indie company that can't even freaking make a blockbuster movie? That can't make like a movie like you see with Godzilla minus one. You know how crazy that shit would be? That'd be wild if that did happen, though. It would, it would. Most people are like, I think you're giving too much credit, but still, I mean, think about that. Then that would have been wild. Imagine giving a property that you fucked up so bad, then give it to somebody else that can't do anything with it because they don't have the money or the budget, but you gave it to them. Like you would think that they will buy that. No, Disney just gave it to them. Like it's like that. You know, uh, it's like here you can have it. We don't want it anymore. Um, but there's a lot of things that are like that right now. Look at Final Fantasy VII Remake. I don't give a fuck if you guys like the fucking remake. I mean, look at it. The people that like the remake haven't played the original. Even if you haven't beaten the original, at least you played it as much or enough to know that the remake is complete garbage and trash and so fanficky to the point that it's actually laughable and it's sad. These are the people that made the original Final Fantasy, and then when they remake Final Fantasy, they're over here like, we're gonna do what we wanted to. Fuck what the creator said. Oh, the creator wanted to talk about this and that because he's lost his mother. No, we're gonna do Destinies because that's what we always wanted to do with Final Fantasy VII. Who people dying and never coming back? Never heard such a thing. You know, that's why I feel like these Japanese developers, not all of them, but some of them are very fucking out of touch. So fucking out of touch. Hell, before I keep going with the WWE stuff, I'll mention this right now. A long time ago, Final Fantasy IV was going to be action RPG because there were people that wanted action. The people that are in the same company as Sqawn now that gave us Final Fantasy 15 and 16 the way it is. Yeah, those people, while the creator of Final Fantasy was still there, they wanted to make Final Fantasy 4 freaking action RPG. And the creator of Final Fantasy is like, I get what you're saying, but we're gonna alienate all the other fans that came before if you do that. Sounds familiar. Sounds fucking familiar. Sounds like history is repeating, but the people that are Square actually got away with it. But now they are seeing the bullshit that's happening to them now. Now all the shit is crumbling down on them. How do you like it, motherfuckers? How do you like it? How do you like it, motherfuckers? I hope you're eating your shit really good, Square people in that company. Seriously. Seriously, because I guarantee you, like, seriously, I guarantee you the people at Square Enix at that time when Final Fantasy IV was out, they were like, we want this motherfucker gone. We want him gone so we can make our shit. Fuck his Final Fantasy. We want our Final Fantasy. Yeah, fuck his Final Fantasy when he created Final Fantasy. And you're gonna create dog shit. Yeah, you can't even create a Final Fantasy game. Because and it's most people be like, well, didn't they did create a Final Fantasy game? It's like, yeah, they did, but it was still with the leadership of the guy that created Final Fantasy. And once he left, they were like, he's gone. Ooh, finally, now we could jizz all over this shit. You know, you know, now we could fuck all over this shit. Let's piss on it. Let's shit on it. You know, let's fuck each other and then fuck this. Or let's damage the property of Final Fantasy so bad that we all fuck each other and then wondering why we don't make money. Seriously. And that's a perfect statement of how to go with WWE. If WWE, for crying out loud, TKO, I can think the main head of the TKO guy, he's literally like, wouldn't it be great if we get 2 or 3 WrestleManias out of a year? Or, no, some shit like that. And I'm over here like, you do realize that's going to desensitize WrestleMania, and no one is not going to feel special anymore, and no one won't give a shit about WrestleMania anymore. TKO, oh, but we're banking on it. Yeah. TKO, I know you're listening to this. You damn well you're banking on that. Don't tell me you're not banking on that. Let's have 5 WrestleManias in 1 year. Oh, people gonna get bored and people gonna get overstimulated and not care for it anymore. TKO and they don't care. They don't. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. They'd be like, TKO would be like this. Oh, really? Isadi, here, you can have it now. How do you like them apples now? You know? I guarantee you, man. Look, these are wicked motherfuckers in these businesses, all right? They're all wicked to the core, to the point that they don't even love their own mama. They don't even love their own children, all right? They don't even love the wife that they married. They're just cheating on them. You know? These are not happy people. The only way they can get some stimuli or some anything that's a dopamine is a few things that are very fucking disgusting. Vince, I'm looking at you. And money. That's really it. You know? So we all saw this coming, obviously. I know some people might are very upset about this. Some people might say, "Oh, breaks tradition." But when I said a long time ago, when WWE went to Orlando for WrestleMania 30, I'm over here like, you just broke tradition. WrestleMania for like the 40th anniversary or 30th anniversary should be in Madison Square Garden, where it all begins, right? But no. I complained about that, and then people told me to shut up. So, shut up about this. How does it feel? How does it feel? How does it feel? Doesn't feel good, doesn't it? Oh, of course. You want your tradition. You want your traditional shit to be only in America or a Pacific place. But once it goes to somewhere else, automatically you butthurt about it. And I can understand that. But once I mention that shit, being like, oh, I feel like WrestleMania 30 and 40 should have been at Madison Square Garden. Oh, shut up. What do you know? Oh, okay. Then you shut the fuck up. Have Saudi Arabia have WrestleMania. In fact, Saudi, keep it. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. In fact, here's SummerSlam, here's Royal Rumble, here's all these other pay-per-views, to be quite honest with you. And we don't get shit. To be honest, I don't care. I washed my hands with WWE a long time ago, and I don't care, man. I don't care. Sell it. Give it to Saudi Arabia, man. I'm dead serious. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Americana does not need WWE anymore. I'm dead serious, all right? There's way more important things in our lives right now to waste $1,000 or $5,000 to see an event of people just wrestling when the show is not even fucking good to begin with. The superstars are not memorable. Even Saudi Arabia knows that. That's why they rather have being like, could we get Andre the Giant? Could we get Yokozuna? Could we get Roddy Piper? They're dead. Oh, could we get The Undertaker then? Could we get Brock Lesnar then? Could we get The Rock? Could we get John Cena? What about Rhea Ripley? Who? What about Seth Rollins? Who? What about CM Punk? Who? WrestleMania 30 and 43. I mean, that's the thing. I laugh at these dates now. Oh, 2020 30, 2050, and 2027 and 2026. Yeah, I laugh at those dates now. Because you guys are not enjoying the moment. You guys want to think about next year instead of being like, yeah, that's fine, but what about this year? You know? But you don't think about that. And a lot of people do, but there's other people out here that don't. And that's actually pretty terrifying. And then you wonder, where did the years go? Where did the years go in my life? Oh, easy. You keep putting yourself ahead of dates and months and years instead of just focusing on the moment where you are right now. It's like the good old saying in Back to the Future. You don't know the future, so make a good one. Seriously, basic. You know when Doc says it back by the end of to Back to the Future, you know? Or part 3, I believe. Come on, man. Come on, man. I don't know, man. It's just really ridiculous. The Saudi people, though, not the government. Fuck the Saudi government. The people, congratulations, guys. You guys finally get a WrestleMania. I wish Massachusetts got a WrestleMania. Most people are like, you mean Boston, Massachusetts? No, Holyoke, Massachusetts, not Boston. Fuck that place. I'm talking about Holyoke, Massachusetts. But Holyoke is too fucking goddamn cheap to even have WWE over here. For crying out loud, if we even brought WWE over here, everything would be fucking bankrupt to the point that no one won't be living here anymore. So there's that. I am dead serious. That's how shit this place is over here. I'm dead fucking serious. Alright? I'm dead fucking serious. Because this place wants to act like it's New York. Why you want to act like it's New York, Holyoke? Half of the people that live here don't have jobs, or do have jobs, and they can't freaking pay their bills without having 5 people live in their house. And then you're gonna put the rent up even more, and then wonder why you have 5 people in that house. Oh, I don't know, because you keep letting the rent up, you idiot. Fucking dumbass. And then you wonder why there's 5 people living in this house. Basically. I want to point this right now. WWE, everyone look, I even mentioned this before. I mentioned this before, and so many fucking idiots were like, oh, what are you talking about? When a pandemic happens, prices are not supposed to go up. They're supposed to go low. Because if you don't believe me, then what the fuck was the Depression about? When the Depression happened, they wanted to get people into movie theaters. All right? But they knew that the Depression was happening. So what they did with the movie tickets, they lowered it down to the point that people went to the movie theaters. So people can just forget about the war for a minute, of the Depression, to just enjoy themselves. But no, we can't do that anymore. We can't do that anymore. All right? Seriously. And most people are like, oh, but that was the 30s and shit like that. Yeah, but still, people were not going to the movie theaters because of the Depression. They were trying to save money. Doesn't that sound familiar, that people were trying to save money now because they don't want to go and spend so much money on other shit? For crying out loud, milk is expensive. Water is expensive. Just by 1 gallon alone, you buy a freaking, you want to buy groceries and you only have 2 things, and you wasted $3.50 on 2 things. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. In WWE, I'm sorry to say, but you are the bottom of the barrel gutter trash entertainment. That's what wrestling is. It's borderland gutter trash entertainment. You're right next to you. You literally this is you. This is what wrestling is. It's downhill gutter trash entertainment. That's why it's cheap. That's why people love it. Then it's the circus. All right? Then it's the movies. And then we get into video games. All right? Seriously. Especially now. Back then it was different. But I'm talking about now. And even back in the day, wrestling was still like in the bottom of the barrel of entertainment. Because you had TV, you had the movie theaters, and you had social people with you. For crying out, there's a reason why so many people started having babies. They were not going to the movie theaters or watching or going to wrestling events. They were fucking. Why would I go? Why would I pay money to have some action when can I have some action at home for free? Who would have thought? You know, it's the same shit when you have these newscasters being like, "Oh, the generation of the '90s, the millennials, they're not having kids and shit like that. You guys should be ashamed of yourself." Then drop the prices down of everything so people can actually live a better life and actually can afford a kid. Oh no, we don't want to do that. Then don't complain about it. You sorry motherfuckers. Seriously. You want to deal with it? Then come to me. We can take it outside. And I guarantee you're gonna be swallowed whole by the ground itself. And I won't be doing anything. All I have to do is just think about it. The ground will swallow you whole like a freaking sandworm and dune. Seriously. Seriously, man. But it's just these products. It's not just WWE. It's just other stuff. But WWE is, you know how I forgot. Was it? I forgot who it was. It was some wrestler in the Vince documentary says that wrestling is the image of real life. If you want to know what's happening in real life, watch wrestling. If you want to know what's going on in the world, watch wrestling. If you want to know what's changing about the world, watch wrestling. And he's not gone. He's not gone. And I've been saying it for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. But apparently people would just call me a conspiracy theorist. Okay. Okay. Yeah, whatever. 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 Uh, I should probably say the line for what New Jack said. I like to thank uh, I like to thank my brother O.J. Simpson doing God's work. When I heard that shit, I'm like, again, I've mentioned this before too. The fact that he even got away with that, I'm just like, you know, like they got away with it because they allowed it, and it was part of the show. But you know, New Jack meant it, you know, in real life. So it's like, what the fuck? I always thought it was hilarious when I saw that clip, man. Seriously. The the guy that was interviewing him, I apologize, basically. uh, but moving on. Uh, WWE, man. Um, that's the thing, man. I love wrestling, and I respect these wrestlers that put their body on the line just for our entertainment, just for us to, just to, just for us to not think about the harshness of life or stuff that's happening in our life. But WWE is around here like we don't care anymore. TKO is definitely like we don't care anymore. Because it's funny because they're looking at UFC and they're treating WWE like UFC or boxing. And that's why I point out that TKO, WWE, the form of wrestling, overall, is the bottom of the barrel trash entertainment. All right? People go more into boxing, even back in the day, before they went into wrestling. Okay? Again, going back, I'm not saying these people don't put their bodies on the line or anything like that. But a lot of people know that that is the bottom of the barrel entertainment. And it still is. I'm sorry. I've always saw wrestling that way, man. Don't tell me it's not the bottom of the barrel entertainment. It is. It is, man. It is. It's cheaper. You can bring your families. Obviously, you can't do that anymore. But those are the things that you could do. You could talk to the wrestlers. You get popcorn, candy. It's junk food. It's junk food entertainment, guys. That's what it is. It's junk food entertainment. But what we love about it is the talent and the storytelling and the larger in life characters. And WWE doesn't want to do larger in life characters. They want you to be like, yeah, I want you to know this person, know the Undertaker, know who he really is. I don't give a shit who the fuck Mark Calloway is. You know, I want to know who the Undertaker is. You know, I don't give a shit who Demi is. Demi is. I want to know who Rhea Ripley is. But not to say, Demi, you can call me anytime. To be honest, my phone is always on speed dial for you, honey. Um, seriously, we do brunch. But oh, she's married. And you think that's gonna stop me, Buster? Apparently, you don't know where I live at. You think anyone in Holyoke gives a shit about that? No. No, they don't. They really don't give a shit about that. They really don't. All right. If your wife is talking to me or your girl is talking to me, most likely you're doing something wrong. All right. That's what we say in my neck of the woods. All right. Your woman is talking to me. All right. Seriously, then you're doing something wrong, and maybe she wants to freaking hop on this fucking cock. You know. Seriously, we've all been there. Seriously, come on, man. Seriously. All right. This is these companies that like it's like the same thing with Disney and any other company. Obviously, these companies are so far not far gone because they were never there to begin with, in my opinion. These companies obviously are there just to make money, and that's fine. But you guys got to understand too that greed runs deep inside of them to the point that they would never give a shit about you and me. They would never give a shit. All right. If there was a product like Star Wars that would make them a lot of money, of course they would kiss your ass. Of course they would, because they won't get the money. But once they have enough money and they can make something shit and then sell it and run off because it's once it's gone, and no one and they don't get the responsibilities or anything like that. No one doesn't even point fingers at them. Oh, this company failed and shit like that. Oh, how dare how oh fuck this company and shit like that. But it's the people that own the company that brought it to the ground to the point that they were like, all right, let's get rid of it and we're done. We just wanted to go to the company, destroy it to make as much money as possible while we're destroying it, and then leave, and then go and then leave and rinse and repeat. All right, this has been going on for a long time, anyways. But it's gotten to the point that it has gotten so far now to the point for some people that they just don't care. They don't care. They don't care. I've been saying this before. I've said this before because I've said this in the YouTube video saying that there's gonna be more people like me when they don't give a shit and they're not gonna go to your product anymore. And it's gonna be to the point that no one's not gonna watch your shit anymore. It only takes one person to start that shit. All right? And then all these companies wanna laugh about it, but then once it happens, it's like, oh shit. And then WWE is trying to cater to the newer fan base, the newer crowd of audiences of wrestling. And guess what? They're not coming. Why? Because they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. There's also a frame of their audience too that is older. That when they show these YouTubers or these celebrities, we don't care. We shut off the channel. We just don't give a shit. We don't want to see none of your fucking celebrities. We don't want to see any of your bullshit crap of you promoting anything. Just show me something that you are giving me. Give me the product that I asked for or what I came here to see, or I will take my money somewhere else. You know? That's why in Final Fantasy 16, when I saw those kaiju battles, I was literally like, yeah, and I'm going to spit you in the face for making those kaiju battles because now I'm going to put it in my game and they're way fucking goddamn better because they're not fucking cinematic garbage. Seriously. Seriously. Kingdom Hearts can probably do better kaiju fights than fucking Final Fantasy 16 and 15. Seriously, man. Seriously. There's so many stuff with these companies that don't want to do anything. And yet they expect to grow as much money as possible. Alright? It's like with everything here nowadays, that's like, hey, we're selling a product and it's high expensive, but we give you in low quantities. You know? Here's a bag of apples. It comes with, a regular bag of apples should come with what? 10 in a bag? Maybe 12? Oh no, here's two. $50. Oh, each. You know? There is plenty of food. There's plenty resources to go around. It's just that the people that govern people tell the people that there's nothing like that, then people believe it. And then they go on and tell people about it. We have nothing. We have nothing. No, we do have a lot. We have abundance of everything. It's just that there's some people around the world that don't want to give those stuff to people because making people sick and making them suffer makes money. Not making them happy makes no money. It doesn't make them money. All right? Seriously, that's why people fight over if there should be a cure for cancer or not, even though there is. But they would never tell you that. Why would they tell you that? They would just tell you, here, have a pill. When you can actually eat fruits and vegetables, nuts and grains, and literally take energies from the sun itself. But people want to say that, oh, that gives you cancer and shit like that. Maybe you're not supposed to be in this planet then. If the sun itself gives you cancer, then guess what? You don't belong in this planet. Plain and simple. You're a fucking vampire that should be dead. All right? And that's what a lot of these business people are. They're fucking vampires. Okay? They're fucking vampires. They're fucking parasites. Thieves. Just like what Mother Olga said in The Dark Crystal. In the end, there'll be nothing but dust. All right? So let TKO do what they want, guys. Let TKO do what they want. Let them do what they want. Let them cook to their destruction. TKO, cook. Keep cooking until you die. Keep cooking. Keep cooking. Keep cooking until UFC is gone, until WWE is gone, and you have nothing left, and you keep on going. Keep doing that. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Because eventually it is going to crumble to the point that there is, you see that Hollywood sign up there? It'll be gone. There is no Hollywood sign. What Hollywood sign? You know? Yeah, I know. I'll point out the Hollywood sign shit. But just think about it. Like, some people might be like, oh, AEW will take it over or something like that. Guys, it's just overall, wrestling is just not good. From all fronts. I don't care what no one says. Oh, wrestling has been great as it's ever been. Is that how you say to yourself to help you sleep at night? I mean, if you do, then okay, fine. But I'm here to tell you, no. It's becoming worse and worse as it is. As the years gone on, as the months gone on, as the time has gone on. Okay? Remember the time when Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble and he wasn't ready? Remember the time when Batista won the Royal Rumble? And WWE thought that, no, that's what we wanted. We wanted Batista and Randy Orton in the main event for WrestleMania 30. When Daniel Bryan was hot as hell. You know? And then people forget this too. WWE doesn't want a Daniel Bryan situation. We talked about this before years ago on this channel. And don't think that they don't still feel like that right now. Just like what Vince says, no one's bigger than the WWE. Apparently John Cena is, Hulk Hogan is, The Rock is, Austin is. That's why all these motherfuckers left. All these motherfuckers left. Even John Cena said that he made more money in Hollywood than he made in a year when he did wrestling. And then it's funny too because then you have WWE being like, oh, okay, you're in our wrestling business and all that. Here, we'll help you go to Hollywood or some shit. And I'm over here like, aren't you the people that still talk shit? Aren't you the people that talk shit to Batista that went to Hollywood and you were like, oh yeah, he will call back to us. Then Guardians of the Galaxy does good, and then they tell Michael Cole in the commentary team, congratulations to Batista on the Guardians of the Galaxy being successful. How about you wipe my ass with that shit, Vince and Triple H and TKO? I don't give a shit. How about you wipe my ass with that shit, hang it up to dry, then you can smell it, and then you'll be like, there we go. I am shit. Or I can wipe my ass with it and then put it on your face. Come on, guys. When's it going to take? What's it going to take? Because I barely watch this shit anymore. Many people barely watch this shit, they tell me. Apparently not. Either they're fucking lying to me, because apparently when I look at those crowds, there's so many people watching on the crowds. And still, like, this is not even like a new theme for me. Ever since I stopped watching WWE, I'm looking at everyone in the crowd and I'm like, all you guys are idiots. You guys are literally, you guys love to be insulted with your intelligence. This is why some people say wrestling fans are unenlightened, very fucking stupid, and rather be cognitive dissonant all their life. Don't be pissed off at me. You did that. You did that to yourself. And it's not everybody around here, but there's so many of you. Because don't say that there isn't no many of you, because there's no reason why WWE is still making bank. And there's no reason why you're appearing to these shows. It's like the same thing with Square Enix. Square Enix is catering to stupid motherfuckers that don't give a shit about wrestling. Or don't give a shit about RPGs or Final Fantasy in general. You know, for example. So why are you going to cater to people? You're going to cater to people that have what? I mean, they already admitted they're not catering to families anymore. I don't give a shit about that. For what? It's not like you're gonna say fuck you. It's not like you're gonna show a woman's titties. It's not like you're gonna have half of these men get naked or some shit. For example, for these ladies in the in the seats that are watching. Like, it's so funny. It's so funny that this company will literally say we're not for families anymore, and then literally have to call on these promoters just to make sure they don't step on their toes, they don't put anything offensive, basically. And then once it hits 10 o'clock, they can say fuck you or bitch. No. And then the crowd, and then it's so stupid nowadays too, because once a wrestler says, I'm gonna get you and all this shit, bitch, and then the crowd goes like, oh, and I'm over here like, oh, you guys are idiots, you guys are fucking 5-year-olds, you grown ass men, you grown ass fucking women in a fucking, you grown ass children in a freaking adult body cheering for this bullshit. That's why I can't take these wrestling fans seriously anymore. That's why I distance myself with wrestling and the fan base of wrestling in general. All right? That's why there's so many what is it? Fandoms that I have left. All right, because of shit like this. Because it's not just the company that threw me out. It's the fucking fans, quote unquote fans, quote unquote people that love this shit and don't want to be assaulted, but yet they constantly get assaulted, they get spit in the face, and they still chill for this WWE crap all the time. It's the same thing going back with Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 Remake. People knew the flaws, people knew what it was going to be, but you guys still bought it. The only difference is that Square Enix doesn't even know what to do anymore because they both failed. Final Fantasy 7 Remake and Rebirth, and 16 Remake. I mean 16 Final Fantasy. And someone's going to be like, well, Final Fantasy 7 Remake didn't fail, actually made money. No, if you actually count the games together and also the third game that might come out, no one doesn't give a fuck about Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. People that even liked it, 7 Remake, played Rebirth, hated it, and don't want to come back to the third one. They don't give a shit anymore. And that's the type that we're on right now. All right? We have gone to the point that we don't give a shit anymore about your fucking products. Either do it right or get the fuck out of my face. That's really it. That's really it. Seriously. You're not gonna sell oranges and then give me fucking apples. You know? I just paid you for oranges. Now you're gonna give me some apples? Oh, deal with it. No, I'm not gonna deal with it. I fucking paid for it. In fact, give me my money back. You're not gonna give me my money back? Then I'm gonna fucking what is it? Hijack the show. In fact, I would jump out of the barricade. Go ahead and go ahead and spew me and punch me. Go ahead. I don't give a shit. What are you gonna do? Well, oh, we tackled that guy down that went after the barricade. Yeah, we're gonna throw him out. Okay. Then I could just look at your building and do whatever I want with it in the spiritual realm. You have no idea what I can do in the spiritual realm, man. I'm dead serious, man. There's a reason why WWE moved their headquarters to another building. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Alright? That's why I tell WWE a long time ago when they try to attack my enlightenment videos to not fuck with me. And they fucked with me. So they got the horns. Why do you think they had to move to another fucking place of the business? Seriously, man. You think I'm joking? I'm not fucking joking, man. You guys... And then people gonna think I'm crazy here when I look at all your wrestling fans fucking crazy. Seriously, man. Seriously. It's just sad that this company, all these other companies, don't like. It's so surprising that these companies act like the way they act, and they get surprised when people act a certain way. You know? You know? All I have to do is this, and just imagine something on. All I have to do is this, and just imagine what happens to the WWE company, and it happens to them. What do you think the whole What do you think the whole thing with Vince happened? I'm not saying I'm not the one that did it, but there's karma when it comes to that shit, man. That eventually comes back to you. All right? And people have been doing this for a long time, just like literally meditating and just thinking about one thought to destroy a whole bunch of shit. Seriously. It's not new. It's been happening forever, actually. Yeah. Why do you think the plague was a thing? Yes. You know? You think the plague was just because of a sickness that happened out of nowhere? No, the plague happened because there was a few people that saw invaders come into the land. Then they used voodoo And then they started killing them just by using voodoo, and they didn't have to touch them. They didn't have to touch them. They went on the other side of the fucking continent, killing them. That's the power that we have. That's the power that we have. All right. Why do you think none of our brothers and sisters never freaking get the light of day in WWE? We'd only become the face of WWE. Seriously. I mean, look what happened with fucking Booker T. You know? Look what we're seeing with All Truth. He just came back and they treat him like this. Don't fuck with me with this shit. All right? If you want to call me a conspiracy theorist and all that shit and all that bullcrap, you want to talk the way that freaking Good Mike Ward talks, or just Alex talks, or what is it, Solomonster talks. Every time people point out some of this stuff, then guess what? when the power goes out, you guys are gonna act fucking nuts. I'm dead serious, and that's sad. That shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen, but yet it will. And that's the best thing about the power going off, because these companies are not going to live. These companies are not going to live anymore, man. That's why I made a YouTube video a long time ago also saying that, hey, the reason they're doing this, the reason they're making everything crap, the reason they're acting a certain way that they're acting, just like you see Square Enix and Rockstar and TKO, the reason they're acting this way is because they're trying to grab all the money as possible until it is shut down. If you haven't been paying attention, you should be paying attention. Not that long ago, NASA just reported that there'll be a UFO coming to the planet. And there's plenty of people out here being like, could we just have this already? Because ever since 2020, people are just sick of it. They'll be like, either happen or don't. Fuck off. It's like, thank you. Thank you. But guess what? NASA knows what's going on. NASA knows what's going to happen to this planet. These companies like WWE and Square Enix and Rockstar, they know what's going to happen. They know what's going to happen. Why do you think they acting the way they acting? I've been saying this for freaking years. All right? These companies need to learn. They need to learn. But remember, these companies are not going to change because they are on a foundation that has no foundation. You think they have a foundation because they bring themselves up like they have a foundation, but in reality, in the background, they have no foundation. They have no foundation. Hell, when COVID happened, that proved that to everyone in the all over the world. When COVID happened, that proved to everybody in the world that these guys don't have power. They don't have power. The planet has power. You don't have power. You never have and you never will. For crying out loud, the sickness of COVID had more power than fucking you did, motherfuckers. Seriously. Seriously. And why were these government officials scared of that when people think it was man-made? When these government officials were scared of it? The government officials that will actually make something like this and spread it around to people to kill us instead of them? Why would they get upset about it? And we over here calm down. Again, if you guys haven't been paying attention to that, I don't know what to tell you. I do not know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. These people, obviously, the foundation that they have created for themselves, sorry about that, the foundations that they have created for themselves is literally breaking. It's breaking, it's dying, it's cracking. People are seeing it. For kind of loud, people are seeing through the bullshit more now than ever, to the point that people are just sick of it. People are sick of it. People are pissed off. All right. People are just fed up. Okay. And I'm glad people are fed up. I'm happy. I'm finally, finally, you guys actually grab some fucking balls and actually are sick and tired of the bullshit and you actually want to do something about it. Instead of some of these people being like, oh, well, that's disappointing. Well, we can't do anything about it. See, that type of mindset right there will never get you anywhere. We'll never get you anywhere. You will never finish college. You will never finish school. And you will never finish any type of project that you literally have a passion about. Because if you have that type of attitude, guess what? You're not going to finish anything. You're not going to finish anything. You're not going to accomplish anything. You're going to be miserable for the rest of your fucking life. All right? There's no reason for you to act that way. Seriously. When people act that way, I look at them and be like, oh, I would love for your ancestors to look at you that way. Because your ancestors actually had balls and survived. Reasons why you're here? Ungrateful asshole? Who knows? Maybe you deserve to die in this lifetime because you're just an ungrateful motherfucker to your ancestors. Hey, they said it, not me. Seriously. I'm dead serious, alright? I hear spirits everywhere around here. So imagine when I hear it outside. I'm literally like freaking Clyde from the Umbrella Academy, which is one of the reasons why I like that character so much, because every time he goes through that shit, I resonate with that shit because I've gone through that shit. That's why when in that I know I'm getting sidetracked here, but when Clyde went to the army, to the military, and then he went to the battlefield of the war, I was just like, oh god. I felt so sorry for him because all the spirits that he's gonna see there, oh my, they didn't show it, but the battleground and all that, it just hindered on it a little bit on the show. And you looked at Clyde when he was just holding the briefcase and shit. Oh, you felt it, man. You didn't see it, but you felt it, and that's all that's all that really mattered, man. Seriously, it's all about show don't tell. And they showed much, but they didn't tell much either, and that's what I liked about that episode. So if you watched Umbrella Academy season 2, from season 1 and 2 are good. Everything else was crap, just crap. Just watch season 1 and 2 when you're done of Umbrella Academy. Just saying. But that's it, guys. I know I've been here for a long time. I just had to, bring some of the stuff out of WWE. And then the wrestling podcasters that I called out, I'm not calling them out specifically. I'm just using them as examples. Because when you're a YouTuber like this, obviously you're the face of like podcasters around here. Even though you might not want to, but guess what? That's how it is. That's how it is. It was like that when I was making Chucky videos, and I was used to be the Chucky guy, and I never wanted to have so many people to be on top of me like that. But now I'm not the Chucky guy. Someone else is. That's fine. I don't care. I'm not trying to grab that mantle back anymore because I'm just tired of fucking fandoms. They used to be fucking awesome and cool and inviting. And now it's to the point that it's like, oh, well, you don't deserve to be here anyways. Instead of being like, hey, if you don't like it, that's fine. Instead of that, it's like, well, you never supposed to be here to begin with. Like, what kind of attitude these companies have? What kind of attitude that these freaking companies have? And then you expect us to watch your shit or work with you. I don't want to work with a company like Square Enix or Rockstar or WWE. I'll be depressed. I would literally kill myself. I would not want to work with these companies. They're toxic as hell. Especially WWE. No. If I'd work with WWE, they would have to kill me for me to shut up. Because I would not stay shut from this company. I will expose everything about them. I don't give a flying rat's ass about how they feel, and I don't give a rat's ass how the fans will feel when they find out. Because I guarantee you, by the end of the day, when this is all over about wrestling, the wrestling world will never be the same again. And people, every time they think about wrestling, they will want to throw the fuck up. Because that's where we're heading. I hope you know that. No, we're heading to that. We're heading to that soon with wrestling. When you find out so much about wrestling to the point that it makes people vomit, throw up, to the point that they're not watching the product anymore. Because it's that fucking disturbing and that disgusting. Okay? You don't think the whole massive public and the whole world is not going to find that out? Oh, trust me. They will. They will. They will. And some of us already kind of know this. Some of us have heard about it. Some of us have heard other stuff and ignored it because people are idiots and don't go deep down and research. You just rather ignore it and hear what the media says or what WWE says instead of researching it themselves like a detective like Batman. Sorry that you can't do that. Sorry that you can't do that. Hey, you know what? Not a lot of people can. Not a lot of people don't have that type of mindset. All I know is, hey, at least I know you can't get that type of job. You know? Because people have sometimes, because people's brains are wired to understand that. And there's other people that have, something's wrong with their brain that it's not wired, it doesn't click. All right? And the reason it doesn't click is because they live in a society, fuck society, by the way. They've been living in society that fucking is terrible. And it's rotting their brain. It's rotten flesh. It's making them into a fucking pissed off tyrant zombie. Does that sound familiar? When this motherfucker just died not that long ago, and everyone's just freaking the fuck out, and I'm over here like, yeah, I don't care. A white boy died. Who gives a shit? Seriously, children get kidnapped and slaughtered and eaten every freaking day, and people like me, Afro Hispanic people, and black people get talked shit on every day, get blamed on every day, call us crazy and wired and killers. Meanwhile, a white boy dies and everyone fucking freaks out. No, 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 no. And then I'm the fucking problem, right? No, no, that's not how it is. That's not how it works. And then you wonder why America is the way it is. And you wonder why people are acting the way they're acting. And you wonder why I don't give a shit. And I'm over here looking at these people and I'm like, let them act. They're gonna act. They're gonna kill each other anyways. All you have to do is not be a part of it. That's really it. That's really it. That's really fucking it, man. Seriously. That's really it. That's really it. Seriously. Because people putting some of their stuff on all of this bullshit, like with WWE, you could put on something else that is more prerogative. You could have made your own. You could have made your own. Uh, um. You could have made your own thing for people to consume. Look at me. I made a video for people to consume something. They don't have to watch it, but if you do, thank you. Thank you for watching my YouTube videos. Seriously, man. All right. And you don't have to watch my YouTube videos, but the fact that people do, and they come in and they like my videos and they subscribe, I appreciate it. Thank you. You know, there's a reason why I'm not one of these higher YouTubers. Obviously, I should be like other people that I know, but they're not because YouTube is a piece of crap. Also, all right. There's just so many shit, guys. There's just so many shit. And I just hope, no, no, not hope, because who gives a fuck about hope? Do you hope to pay the bills? No, you fucking do it. You do it. You do it. Right? People just need to open their eyes and see what the heck is going on around here. All right? And the fact that we see people reacting to this wrestling stuff, what WWE is doing, what TKO is doing, says a lot. All right? Remember what I said earlier. If you want to know what's going to happen to the world, watch wrestling. And guess what? If that's happening with wrestling right now, imagine what's going to happen with the world. This is the TheSkullKlown signing off. Have a nice day.